Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. Happy Monday. And of course, happy Money Monday as well. So excited to be here on this afternoon. And welcome to December. It is indeed December. Can't believe that it is the last month of the year, but here we are. And, there's still time if you have not yet done some things or even prepared for the year ahead, there's still time to do so. So, just get in that right mindset and prepare for all of the good things that is to come in this next year of 2026. But before that, don't forget to take some time to reflect on this year and all that you have accomplished, not all that you did wrong, but it's also, of course, important to be mindful of the things that we could do better. But we want to not focus so much on those things that we are not taking the time to acknowledge what we have done right. Let's see. Oh, hello, hello. I know, I cannot believe it. Like, oh my gosh, this year, we always say that. I know a lot of times we say that, oh my gosh, the year just flew by, but it really seems like this year it flew right on by. So, anyways, we're here. But before we get into this week's lighter, and also I do want to apologize about last week. I did not put myself on the stage. So when that happened, I thought that I was talking. Well, I thought that you could hear me talking. I was definitely talking, but I could not, you all were not able to hear me. So I do apologize about that. But, a little break is always good. All right. So before we get into this week's lighter, I do just want to be quick and brief. I'm going to try to be. Always say that, I know, but I do want to try to be brief. But I do want to go over something that has been on my mind to get out on these Money Mondays, but I just hadn't had the opportunity to do so yet. So I just wanted to briefly make mention of this thing that we do here at Inspire with Indy to try to give us a little bit more understanding, and maybe over the months and years to come, you all will be able to go back and reflect on the Mantra Mondays that we have here, or find your own affirmations, because there are a lot out there that best suit you, because it's not all about, our affirmations. There's several things, several different avenues out there that you all can go to get those affirmations. But I really want for us to understand the power of these affirmations and why they're so important to incorporate into our life. And I'm saying that to myself as well, because I know I have to get better with actually listening to the affirmations. But one thing for sure is that when you get more tinctured in actually being more spiritually in tune with yourself, you're able to kind of just in your mind have those affirmations playing. And as you progress and get more experience, you don't necessarily have to be listening to a video and have that guided meditation aspect in there, because you've trained your mind to be able to do it. Just like you train anything else, you train your body, you train artificial intelligence, you train your mind to do things, and then of course you're able to do them. So when it comes to our Mantra Mondays, our affirmations, which I like to call Mantra Mondays, and some people, they might not like that word mantra, but I really wanted to get down to the root of, first of all, what is a mantra and why I have decided to call my affirmations Mantra Mondays. So let's get right into the actual definition of what a mantra is. And I know that in some religions, this is a word that you hear more often than others. But when we get down to what does it mean, it is a word, a sound, a statement, a slogan that is repeated frequently to aid in concentration or in meditation. So, or in concentration while you're meditating. And the reason why I decided to name my affirmations Mantra Mondays is because of the fact that I was trying to find something that went with Mondays. So that was, I couldn't say affirmation Mondays. I mean, I could have, but I wanted it to have that zing to it, which I do have to give credit where it's due. Those alliterations, that is something that my mother is, she's been doing it for years and years and years. And, as her daughter, I've learned a lot from her. And that was just one of the things that I also have. I love it. I love the way that it rings, and, it's beautiful to me. So that was one reason why I did it. And then also because if you have not noticed, if you have not never looked at a Mantra Monday video, it is the same 3 or 4 phrases repeated over and over. And the reason behind that is because of the fact that when we're talking about training our mind and really making those shifts in our lives and being able to see it before our very eyes and bring it from the 5D into the 3D, it's important for that repetition aspect to be in there. So as we are repeating over and over these words and phrases, these mantras, because that's what they are, we are training our brain, and we are really allowing for it to come into fruition in our lives. So a lot of people might be like, why is it the same thing over and over and over? And that's the reason why. And when we're looking at this thing, which I was just doing some research on, and I felt like it was really good. So I do want to read it to you really quickly before we get into the lighter. But when we're talking about making a quantum shift into a new reality and bringing things forth into our lives, it's really about being able to see it before it's here in the physical. We have to see it in the spiritual realm. We have to see it before we see it. And that is just another thing. Affirmations is another thing that aids in the ability to be able to do that. If you look in the mirror every single day and you're telling yourself how beautiful you are, I am beautiful, I am loved, I love myself. Over time, through that repetition, you're going to be able to notice that now you're finding features of yourself that you just overlooked because we were so focused on, the things that we didn't like. Now we're like, oh my gosh, I have a dimple right there. Oh my gosh, my smile really isn't that bad. And you begin to find the beauty within yourself. And, someone had asked a question a while back of how do you build confidence? How do you, find that sense of confidence? And one of the things amongst others is the affirmations, because when you're constantly telling yourself something, you begin to believe it. I mean, I don't care if you tell yourself every day that the sky is purple. Eventually your mind will convince you. You'll start to see the purple hues and be like, oh yeah, the sky is purple. And so that's the case with really anything in our life. And that's why I'm so firm on the fact that absolutely anything is possible, because if you can believe it, you can indeed achieve it, but it does take that work. So I want to read this. I do want to read this about a quantum shift really quickly, and then I'm going to be out your hair. So, because I thought that this was good. So it says, a quantum shift is a sudden, dramatic, and significant change. In physics, it literally refers to the instant jump of an electron from one energy level to another. In a broader, non scientific context, it describes a profound transformation in personal or professional situations, moving from one state to another abruptly. So, when we are doing these affirmations, at some point you're going to reach that level to where that quantum shift, or even it might even be a quantum leap that happens in your life. And that is where all of a sudden things just start to click, things just start to manifest itself into your life, into our lives. First thing, a prime example, when I was looking for, a particular card that I wanted, I went out and, like I say, it's deeper. Affirmations is one thing that I did, but I also went out and started buying the things, the different gear that had that particular car on it, that particular make, that particular model that I thought that I wanted. And I began to see myself in it, see myself driving it, see it looking out my window and seeing it in the parking space. It's going to be right there in that place right there. And as I began to do that over time, it didn't just happen overnight, but as we began to continuously cultivate that in our life and bring it forth into our reality through the affirmations, through seeing it before we see it, through really just encouraging ourselves and doing the work to say that this is possible, then before you know it, I actually had the keys to that thing, and I was able to put those things that I had bought into the car. And I've said this previously, that some of the things that I bought did not even fit in the car because I ended up getting something that was way more than I thought or imagined. And that's what it's about. It's about being able to shift our energy. And I know some people, they don't like the word energy, but we, like, from a scientific point of view, that's what we are. We're energy. Like, we're that's just what we are. So it's about being able to shift into that place of already having it and believing it before you see it. And hopefully that encourages someone throughout, someone that might view this to say that, you know what, I am bigger than my current situation, I'm bigger than my current circumstance, and begin to do the work to get to that place that you want to be in. And it's not always about, of course you have to physically get out and do the work, but there's also a lot of mental, like, before you can be somewhere in a certain place in your life, there is a mental aspect that also has to be refined as well, to really be able to get into that place that we deserve to be in. Because we don't deserve to live this mediocre life, struggling from day to day, trying to figure out how we're going to make ends meet. That's not the life that you were destined to live. That's not the life that I was destined to live. You weren't destined to be trapped in this, in a rat race, or trapped, as what some might say, a slave, and not being in control of your time, in control of who it really just takes away who you were. You weren't placed on this earth for that. And when we can remember who we are, that is when we can really start to make the changes in our life to see those quantum shifts. And I think that's the word for this week, is to get ready for the quantum shifts in your life, that sudden, that abrupt change that's going to happen for each and every one of us if we do that work. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this week's lights later. Let's see. Yes, yes. That is very, very true. It's definitely a mindset thing. It's mindset is everything. Mindset is everything. And I feel like the quicker that people realize that, the quicker that we'll be able to get out of some of the situations that we find ourselves in. And even going back to building confidence, I know, just real quick, when it came to, I know for me, doing the affirmations is really, really good. And for me, like, when I got into that place of really trying to heal, particularly from grief and things like that, I started, and I know I've talked about previously how I had started listening to reggae music, but it wasn't because I was trying to listen to reggae music. What really drew me is because, like, when I do my affirmations, I take kind of do it a little bit different. Like, I listen to the affirmations and I watch visuals of where it is that I want to be. There's a specific individual that I do listen to. And for me, like, when I was in that place of really trying to heal from the grief and things of that nature, an escape for me, and this was also during the time of COVID, an escape for me was the sceneries. Because sometimes, affirmations are good as well, but at that time I wanted to see the beauty. I'm a nature girl, so I love to see the beauty of nature, just beach scenes, nature scenes, just all that kind of stuff. And so that was really what drew me to, that's something that aided in my grief and in my healing, in my healing process, my healing transformation. It was really being able to watch those scenes, and it just kind of, it made me happy. And they have those VR goggles, those VR glasses things, and I didn't have those, but I made my own because I really wanted to escape. I wanted to escape from my current situation. If we're talking about a quantum shift, and how I was able to shift out of that place of being sad all the time, being, crying all the time and doing all of that. I wanted to shift out of my current reality. Like, I didn't want to see the same scenery all the time. So what I did is I literally, and it's funny now kind of looking back at it, but I didn't have no VR glasses and stuff, but I wanted to see only the landscape, the scenes, the sceneries, and the music going. So I literally took pieces of paper and I cut holes in them, and I put it on my face to where the only thing I could see was what was on the TV of those scenes. And it literally, it was like an escape from the reality that I was in. And that's how I was able to start shifting in my life, because it was like I was shifting into a new atmosphere, a new arena. And then the music that went with it, like I say, I wasn't trying to listen to reggae music, but it was the scenes that got my attention. And then the happy music that was going in it, it just allowed for me to stop crying so much. It allowed for me to find the joy and the happiness that was always there, but I just had to find it. And that was just something that really helped me. That was something that I wanted to say. I don't know how it really was supposed to fit in. I thought about it earlier, but it didn't come out at the right time, I guess. I don't know. But maybe that'll help somebody. Like, I don't care. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. And that was something that I had to do. I had to put those holes in the paper and escape from my reality. And it allowed for me to really shift. I don't know if I would call it a quantum shift, but it definitely was a shift that, ended up happening in my life. So on to this week's lighter, so that we can get on with our day, with our afternoon. I am doing something a little bit special I don't want to say special, but a little bit different this week, because I want to light up someone who has not yet been lit up in here at Inspire with Indy, but they have been doing a lot of shining bright in our community here. They have been noticed. They've been noticed for a while, but I just hadn't had the opportunity to do so. So on this afternoon, we're going to go ahead and light this individual up. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this video to the stage so that we can see who this week's lighter is. Yay! Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations to you, Alexandria. Congratulations to you for being this week's Community Appreciation Credit recipient. And it's also been a while since you've been lit up, Tanny, and you have indeed been lighting us up here, and you have definitely been noticed in this community. So, hint, hint, we'll have to see what's up with that. All right, so let's see what you are going to be going home with well, I mean, you might already be at home, but let's see what you are going to be receiving this week. Can I add this to the stage? What's going on? Okay, maybe I got to remove this from the stage first. Excuse me. All right. Let's see what you're going to be going home with on today, on this afternoon. Let's see. All right, let's shuffle a little bit. All right, let's do it. 2020. I don't know. I'm feeling good today. I might have to put a little bit of extra on that. Plus, we got a little bit extra in our budget for this month. So I might have to put a little bit extra on that because you have indeed been lighting us up, and we so definitely, most definitely do appreciate you. Yes, congratulations to you. Please look out for a message from us so that you can receive that community appreciation credit. And if we are not able to message you, I guess I shouldn't say look out for a message. You might receive a message, but if you don't receive a message, then I'll put in there, that you'll need to message us hashtag lighter. If you want to receive your community appreciation credit, then you have to message us so that we can formally send you the message and we can get your Cash App or your PayPal or whatever method of payment that we are going to send that community appreciation credit via. We need to be able to communicate with you, and we're not going to go chasing you down. We're just not going to do it. So with that being said, congratulations to you again, and we do look forward to being able to send that on your way. I know that's right. Yes, because it comes back when you give more. And that's one thing I've learned. That's why it is nothing for me to be a giver. I really don't know how. I've learned that it's really hard for me to receive. Like, because I'm so used to being a giver, and I've learned that it's so much beauty in being a giver. Like, a lot of the things that I have today is because of my heart and how I have given to others. Things that people just don't even know about that I have done that, it's not for everyone to know about, but I just people think that by being selfish that you're going to have more, but no. But you do have to have boundaries and, be careful not to be taken advantage of. But, I've learned that it's very hard for me to receive, like, and plus I don't really get that. I don't really get much, and so, like, even now, like, I literally have I have baskets sitting all around my house that I have not even opened. I have, like, from AV Honor Roll, actually one of those boxes, that little box that you did, Tanny. I still have that, haven't opened it because I have gifts that I've gotten that I haven't even opened because it's just like I like to really just look at it. Like, it's the beauty of, oh my gosh, looking at it like, oh my gosh, I actually got something. But no, literally. So but I've learned that it's good to be open it. But I've learned that it's good to be a giver because it most definitely comes back, even if it's not monetary. Just giving love and giving your time, giving your talent, whatever the case may be, for those to be able to see. Because at the end of the day, you never know who you're helping through a kind word. You never know who you're helping by putting content out there. You just never know. Even with Tanny, with your weight loss journey, I mean, you're inspiring me to get back in the gym and and get myself together too. But anyway, I do thank each and every one of you all for your time, for joining in with us, especially here live. And I hope that each and every one of you all has an amazing rest of your day. And remember, I'm sorry, an amazing rest of your evening. And remember how important those affirmations are. And get some affirmations and start incorporating them into your life. You all take care and have an amazing, 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 amazing night, and may it be really as amazing as you. But I know that's going to be hard to beat because you're pretty amazing. You all have a good one.